There we go. Well, here we go, July. So we got the Buccaneers out of the way. And again, as you said, I mean, it's very hard to go against Mr. Brady. We got everything. I mean, can you give that guy any more? What kind of like? Could you literally just give that guy anything more to
I
work
mean,
with? Like,
especially that
good
division
Lord.
too. Come on. It's not
Yeah,
even.
I mean, it's incredible. All right, so let's move on here. We definitely want to get some other guests in here, and our next, hopefully we're going to bring in not a heated rival, but we happen to play this team this year. So these next two gentlemen who we're going to bring on here, or we've started to talk a little trash. So first, let me introduce a gentleman who is very distinguished in the community. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, here is Mr. Will Kramer, the our buddy Will, who you will know. For some of you may recognize his face. Will is one half of the team that is currently Washington Football Weekly, along with our buddy Sean Spencer. Sean should be joining us in a moment, so we will start with Will. Will, welcome to the program. For one, thank you for joining us today. Finally got a chance to get you on. Yes, good evening.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I appreciate the ask. Absolutely. No, we wanted, and again, we know we got that week 6 date with you guys, but let's put that aside for now, and let's get down to business though. Carson Wentz, quarterback, and you and I, we've had that conversation, but again, for this Washington Commanders, baby, there it is. There we go. See it? Sean is just fulfilling us with everything now. There you go. See? But let me ask you, on the Carson Wentz front, Ron Rivera says he's 100% behind Carson, sold. He's your starter. That's where you're going. That's how how do you feel, about this and going into the season with Carson Wentz?
So the bar is so low in DC that he's a huge improvement. I mean, the last couple of years, the guys they've trotted out at quarterback, it's pathetic when you look back at some of the folks between Case Keenums and a Dwayne Haskins and a Taylor Heineke and Garrett Gilbert last year, I think, for a game when because of COVID.
One game somebody says there.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, and even when Alex Smith was here before the injury, he really wasn't clicking with the offense, and then after, obviously, post-injury. So the bar's so low that Carson Wentz is going to be better than everyone we've had in since Kirk Cousins. And before Kirk, it was years before that. So already you're going to see a level of professionalism from him. You're going to see the ability to a guy to make throws, make big plays that I think we are going to like as fans. But I mean, I certainly think there's the jury's out on can he be a franchise? Can you stick with him for the next 3 to 5 years? But I also think he's got a lot of motivation, because I think he does know, hey, if I flame out here for the third time, the 13th, what is my future? He's on a technically a 1-year deal. It's a 3-year contract, but he's got the out after this year. So they have the ability to say, we gave you a full season. You're just not the guy for us, and move on. But I really don't think that's their plan. I mean, they want this to work. They talked at the beginning of the offseason how this is year 3. And Ron said, this is when we need to see our pieces come together. And so he put some pressure on himself by doing that and talking about it. And then you went out and brought on this big contract with Wentz, and that changed all of free agency. They weren't nearly as active because they went from having a ton of money to really shrunk.
To not having much at all.
Yeah. And
so I think that's the point. Sorry.
So like Ron has tried to walk that back a little bit this week, because he got asked, well, we playoffs or bust. It's year 3. And he was like, no, that's too much. But I do think people want to see improvement. It's your 3rd year. This is your third offseason, Ron, of improving the team, and you are the de facto general manager. Everything runs through you. So there's a lot of pressure on Carson. There's a lot of pressure on Rivera to see, are you going to lead us in the right direction?
No. And I think that's important only because your division itself, when you look at the teams, a lot of people are predicting the Cowboys to win the division, but I kind of feel like your division's up for grabs. If you guys can find a way to keep Carson healthy and playing well with the defense you have and the weapons you do have on offense, you guys might have a legit shot to make a run at least at a wild card or depending on how these things shake out. But like, do you feel that? Do you feel like this team itself, the way it's built right now for this year, has that capacity?
They have the capacity. It's kind of interesting. If you look at them right now on paper, they're most likely predicted to finish third in the division. And they may, if it turns out the way things do, they may finish third in the division and end up with 9 or 10 wins and be a solid football team that just doesn't make it into the postseason. So there's a chance to show a lot of improvement, but still not reach your, some of your goals with it. But I'm actually a lot more excited about the offense and the weapons that they have with some of the new, the wide receivers really impressing. Jahan Dotson out of Penn State. There's a tight end. I think he came from Nevada. He's over there in the Mountain West. Cole Turner. He's very much impressing. And they're talking about him being this red zone threat. And I think you're going to get a chance to see the offense run similar to Philly with Carson, where they had 2 tight ends out there where they were both receivers. They have better receivers now. So I'm more excited about the offense than I am our defense. I'm still very suspect about our backside, our back ends, our corners, our safeties. William Jackson did not gel in that system. So you got to see if he can come around. But our linebackers, we continuously give up third and long over the middle. Our linebackers give up the first down. And we made no improvements there. And Sean and I have been shocked all off season. Like, there's guys out here. Why are we not improving? So I'm more like, our prediction is we may have a lot of games where like we feel a lot of stress because the scores make it up into the 40s because we can't stop anybody. But we do think we've got an offense that might be able to score and make it exciting.
All right. No. And again, it's funny because I look at that division itself with the Cowboys, Redskins, Eagles, and Giants. And then, obviously in years past, these are all storied franchises and they're always, but lately, your division has been just not really essential to anything or not really competitive much in the playoff picture. And I think this is the year that kind of gets turned around. As you said, you got the Eagles who look to be improved. You got the Cowboys who they did lose James Washington today with a fracture in his foot. But still the offense, you still have Dak, you still have Ezekiel, you still got weapons there, you still got the defense they have. So it feels like the NFC East is finally gaining some relevancy. This is the year where they could gain that relevancy back. I don't know what the Giants are going to look like, for sure. But they have, they got a few weapons there as well. If Daniel Jones can figure things out for himself. So again,
not hit disabled people with a football.
You saw that?
Oh. Well, okay. I didn't see that. Delilah, expound on that. What happened there?
At practice, like first you have kickers hitting coaches, and apparently
I saw that one.
One of his traditional missed passes actually hit somebody, and it just so happened the fan was disabled.
Oh no! So geez.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a joke, but it really happened. It's legit. Yeah.
I haven't seen a video.
But anyway, it just doesn't bode well. I don't know. It just doesn't bode well for the
Is that an omen, right? Is that like four bearing things where you're like, the poor guy hit a guy in a wheelchair or something like that?
Jesus. But as far as the Commanders, I could see why you're nervous about your defense. Chase Young is still out. I don't even know if he's going to come back, and that's unfortunate. Like, man, I want to see him out there again, but he just can't. And I understand healing takes everybody's body heals differently, and so. I think that's a huge loss for you guys because he's just such a huge piece for your defense. So I could see why that's what you're questioning. But I agree with you though. I think that we always talk about serviceable quarterbacks, and just Carson Wentz is. He's not like a flashy person, but he's also not awful. You know what I mean? It's just one of those weird situations. I think you guys will get I think you guys will get some wins too. Like I don't see why, you won't get some of these W's. Not against the Bears, but you'll get some W's.
You can lose that game. That's fine. You can win other ones.
The talk around here when it comes to Carson Wentz is preventing him from playing what they call hero ball. And throwing that deep play, trying to make more out of it than he needs to.
Yes.
And so the last guest said it perfectly. We had him come on our show, and he said it great. Yeah. Andrew said it, where we really think, and I agree with him wholeheartedly on this. I think they're going to want to play a boring style of play. He mentioned Brian Robinson there in the comments. I think Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson are going to be very similar to the Carolina Panthers of years ago of Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams.
Yeah.
To prevent Carson from having to feel like he has to win this game himself.
Right.
Because if you can keep him confined, like you said, he's serviceable. And he has the ability, if you get someone open deep, he has the ability to hit him and stretch the field. What is going to be helpful to them is their schedule is a lot easier this year than it was last year. I mean, outside of the NFC East, they had like basically a murderer's row of the top starting quarterbacks in the league. And now you look at it, and I was just kind of glancing over it, and whether it's the best teams or best quarterbacks, I mean, you're really only looking at Aaron Rodgers. You can sort of say if the Colts are a pretty good team, Vikings have playoff aspirations, and the Titans, and then because of this last ruling, the end of the second last game of the season, they played the Browns, so they'll be seeing Deshaun Watson. But other than that, there are a lot easier games this year. There's 6 winnable teams out there. Not saying it's going to happen. I do put the Bears in that winnable game, that they have, and Washington loses games they shouldn't, and then they win games they shouldn't. They beat the Bucs last year. We do it every year. So it's like there's a chance to, and you got to think with the Giants and then stealing 1 or 2 from Dallas, you got to think there's easily 8 to 9 games in there that they can win. It's like, can they pull it off and stay competitive? The thing about the NFC East is I don't think in the last 15, 20 years that there's been a repeat champion. So you take that, you take Dallas out of the equation. So now you're looking at Philly, and Philly on paper absolutely looks like the team to beat in the NFC East. But you're also going to see some pressure on Jalen Hurts. And what has been the knock on him in his entire career? Why did he lose his job in Alabama? It's because his passing, his accuracy, his vision out there. That's why they switched to Tua, because they needed a more dynamic offense. And Jalen is a I love the dude, and he's a threat out there. But can he make that evolution to a threat as a passer? Right. And if not, is Philly going to be frustrated with him, or are they not going to be able to take the next step up either? And they're going to be this mediocre to pretty good team, but not anything substantial because he's holding them back.
No, I get all good stuff again. And again, we know that on October 13th, I believe it is, Thursday Night Football, our beloved Bear
Thursday
plays
night.
the Washington. Right, it's a Thursday night game of all.
That's how much they don't care about us. They put this on a Thursday night.
They put this on a Thursday night, right? Exactly. But hey, we're coming for you guys. Well, that's it. We're coming for you. But I actually really hope that by that point, because that's game 6 for both of us, that at least we'll know by then, to me, what Justin Fields' year might look like. Because he'll be 5 games in by the time we play you guys. And so I'm hoping that by that point, at least, we have the idea of this is going to go south really quickly, or the improvement is there and we're going to march forward. So I think it is kind of a, given the first few games, I'm thinking we could come into this game 3-2, 2-3, 3-2, depending on how things bounce. So it's kind of an important game for us. You can go to that 4-2 mark or go to that 2-4 mark. Yeah. So again, I think it's going to be a great game for us. I don't know how it'll be for you guys by that point, but I think it really could be a turning point in our season, on how things go for the rest of the year. So I'm really looking forward to that game. And again, I know Sean was a little bit busy, so we might have to wait to get him on a little bit later. But Will, I want to thank you for coming on and joining us. Truly appreciate you. And again, get to know Will's face because again, it's a long season, boys and girls. We got 18 weeks of this. So you'll be seeing Will's face again.
That's right.
That's right.
NFC gets the extra game this year.
Yeah, definitely. Before that game, we got to get together and get on here and make our predictions and stuff.
We will gladly do that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, don't worry, my friend. We got plenty of time for that. We're good there.
Right.
But again, thank you, Will.
Hey, let me ask this. I do right before I say, who is going to help out Justin Fields? Like, who is the offensive coordinator y'all brought in?
The guy from
Green Bay.
The coordinator is Thank you. Getsy. Sorry.
Getsy.
We got the guy from Green Bay to be our offensive coordinator. And what I like about so far what I've heard from camp and the things that I've seen in terms of that is he's trying to, again, you want to play to Justin's strengths. You know what I mean? You want to get him going, moving, throwing. That's what you want to do. That's what they're trying to do. And that's one of the reasons why I think with the line that they're trying to put together, he got the center, even though he got hurt. He brought the center from Green Bay over, Lucas Patrick. We got, we brought in Reef lately. We just signed him the last week. We got guys that we're bringing in, and we drafted a bunch of linemen. Obviously Tevin Jenkins, that's a different story. He probably won't be here when the season starts the way it's going. But Braxton Jones, the guy apparently is impressing everyone. We could see him coming in early. It's just they're trying their best to put together a line that will satisfy at least, for this year. And again, you probably won't see the same lineup every week because they even said they're gonna play it until something works. So they're gonna try different things and they're gonna see what combinations work, and they're gonna do their best to put the best line together they can. I'm very interested to see how this is gonna play out, especially on the offensive side. We'll see what Getsy has in his playbook, and we'll see what they can come up with for Justin Fields. So
absolutely, make it easy for him, make him look good, and make the game as easy as you can, because you got to build that confidence. You can't let him get shattered early.
That's very true. That's actually very sage advice, young man. That's very good.
We saw it in 2012, so I know exactly what you're going through with a quarterback who likes to run a little bit. Well, thank you so much. Y'all have a great show, and I look forward to hearing you throughout this fall. It's fun. Football's back.
Yay! Woo!
That's the exciting part. Exactly. Football's back. Thank you very much, Will. You have a great evening, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.